Welcome back, my friends, to a place where the shadows whisper and every creak of a branch could be something sinister lurking nearby. Today we delve into the unsettling world of treehouses, those seemingly innocent structures of childhood dreams. But as we're about to discover, these wooden sanctuaries nestled amongst the leaves can also harbor dark secrets. We have two spine-chilling true stories that took place in treehouses. These tales are not for the faint of heart, so grab a blanket and get ready to be terrified. Our first story takes us to the small town of Ridgewood, where a group of childhood friends built their sanctuary, a sprawling treehouse nestled high in the branches of an ancient oak in Emily's backyard. This treehouse was more than just a structure, it was a fortress of imagination, a place where dreams took flight and adventures were born. The children spent countless hours there, crafting stories of pirates, explorers, and secret agents. It was their haven, their escape from the world, filled with laughter, secrets, and countless summer afternoons. The treehouse echoed with their joy, a symphony of childhood that seemed like it would never end. They would climb up with snacks, books, and games, losing track of time as the sun dipped below the horizon. But as the sun began to set on those carefree days, a creeping unease began to settle in. The once comforting shadows of the treehouse started to feel ominous, and the rustling leaves whispered secrets that the children couldn't quite understand. It started subtly at first, a feeling of being watched, a chill in the air that didn't belong to the warm summer nights. The children brushed it off as their imagination, a byproduct of the ghost stories they loved to tell. Strange noises at night, rustling leaves when there was no wind, the creaking of the treehouse ladder when no one was around. Then came the whispers. They were faint at first, almost indistinguishable from the natural sounds of the night, but they grew louder, more persistent, soft, indistinct murmurs that seemed to emanate from the woods surrounding the treehouse, weaving their way into the children's dreams, turning their once safe haven into a source of growing dread. The whispers spoke of things the children couldn't understand, but the fear they instilled was all too real. One particularly humid evening, as the friends gathered in their usual spot, telling ghost stories by the light of a flickering lantern, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. The air was thick with tension, and the children could feel the weight of unseen eyes upon them. They seemed to be circling the treehouse, closing in on them like icy fingers wrapping around their hearts. The shadows danced menacingly, and the children huddled closer together, their stories forgotten in the face of the growing terror. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind swept through the treehouse, extinguishing their lantern and plunging them into darkness. The sudden blackness was suffocating, and the children could hear their own hearts pounding in their chests. Panic seized them as they huddled together, the only sound their own ragged breaths and the frantic thumping of their hearts. Then they saw it. A movement in the corner of their eyes, a shadow that shouldn't have been there, a shadow darker than the surrounding night, moving slowly across the far wall of the treehouse. It was as if the darkness itself had come alive, creeping towards them with a malevolent intent. It was an unnatural shape, elongated and contorted, as if something was trying to squeeze itself into their world. The shadow twisted and writhed, defying the natural laws of light and darkness. Terror rooted them to the spot, their eyes wide with fear as the shadow grew larger, closer, until it seemed to loom over them, a suffocating presence that sent shivers down their spines. The air grew colder, and the children could feel the icy breath of the shadow on their skin. A strangled cry escaped Emily's lips, breaking the spell. Her voice was a lifeline, snapping the others out of their paralyzing fear. The shadow, as if startled by the sound, retreated back into the darkness as quickly as it had appeared. It melted into the night, leaving the children trembling and confused. Shaking and breathless, the friends stumbled out of the treehouse and down the rickety ladder, their haven now a place of terror. They ran through the backyard, not stopping until they were safely inside Emily's house. the warmth and light a stark contrast to the cold darkness they had just escaped. They never spoke of that night again, but the memory lingered, a chilling reminder that some things are best left undisturbed in the shadows. The treehouse stood empty, a silent sentinel to the horrors it had once witnessed. Years passed, and the friends grew up, moving on with their lives, but the experience in the treehouse forever changed them. They carried the memory with them, a dark shadow that coloured their childhood memories. The laughter and joy of their childhood summers were tainted by the chilling encounter, a constant reminder that the darkness they had glimpsed that night was always lurking, waiting for its chance to return. The treehouse, once a symbol of innocence and adventure, now stood as a monument to the unknown terrors that lie just beyond the edge of our understanding. Our second story brings us to the idyllic town of Willow Creek, where the Harper family moved into their dream home, a charming Victorian with a sprawling oak tree in the backyard, complete with a beautifully crafted treehouse. It was like something out of a storybook, a perfect place for their two young children, Lily and Ethan, to create their own adventures. The children were immediately drawn to the treehouse, spending hours upon hours lost in their imaginations, transforming it into a pirate ship, a castle, a secret hideout. But as the days turned into weeks, a strange unease began to settle over the family. Lily, usually a sound sleeper, started waking up in the middle of the night, her tiny body racked with sobs, claiming that someone was watching her from the treehouse window. Ethan, always adventurous and fearless, grew increasingly hesitant to go near the treehouse, his youthful exuberance replaced by an uncharacteristic timidity. At first the parents dismissed the children's fears as mere nightmares, the product of overactive imaginations. But as the strange occurrences continued, a growing sense of dread began to creep into their hearts. One evening, while searching for the source of a musty odour in the treehouse, Mr. Harper stumbled upon a small wooden box hidden beneath the floorboards. Curiosity got the better of him, and he pried it open, revealing a collection of old photographs and a faded, leather-bound diary. As he flipped through the brittle pages of the diary, his blood ran cold. It belonged to a young girl named Sarah, who had lived in the house over a century ago. The entries spoke of a darkness that haunted the treehouse, a malevolent presence that tormented Sarah relentlessly. The photographs painted an even more disturbing picture. They showed Sarah, her once bright eyes now filled with a haunting sadness, standing in the treehouse, her gaze fixed on something unseen, her expression a mixture of fear and resignation. The final entry in the diary sent shivers down Mr. Harper's spine. It described a night much like the one they were experiencing, a night when the darkness descended upon the treehouse, claiming Sarah as its own. Horrified by his discovery, Mr. Harper realized that the treehouse was not a place of childhood dreams, but a vessel of something sinister, something that had taken Sarah all those years ago and was now threatening his own children. Determined to protect his family, Mr. Harper decided to tear down the treehouse, to erase the darkness that clung to its every nook and cranny. As he swung the sledgehammer, splintering the aged wood, a cold wind swept through the yard, and for a fleeting moment he could have sworn he heard Sarah's voice, a whisper carried on the breeze, thanking him for setting her free. The Harper family, though shaken by the revelations, found solace in knowing they had put an end to the haunting. They decided to plant a beautiful garden where the treehouse once stood, a symbol of new beginnings and hope. The garden flourished, becoming a sanctuary for the family, a place where they could feel at peace. Lily and Ethan, though initially scared, soon found joy in tending to the garden. They planted flowers of every colour, creating a vibrant tapestry that brought life and colour to their backyard. The garden became their new playground, a place where they could laugh and play without fear. The family often spoke of Sarah not with fear, but with a sense of gratitude. They felt a connection to the young girl who had once lived in their home, and they honored her memory by keeping the garden beautiful. It was their way of ensuring that Sarah's spirit was finally at peace. The Harpers' story spread throughout Willow Creek, and the town rallied around them. Neighbors came to help with the garden, bringing plants and flowers to add to the growing sanctuary. The garden became a symbol of community and resilience, a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of darkness. In the end, the Harper family found that their dream home was not just a place to live, but a place where they could grow and heal. The treehouse's secret had brought them closer together, and they emerged stronger, with a deeper appreciation for the light that can follow even the darkest of times. And so the garden flourished, a living reminder of the past and a beacon of hope for the future. The Harper family knew that they had turned a place of fear into a place of love, and they were determined to keep it that way for generations to come. If you enjoyed these terrifying tales, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling stories. Your support helps us bring you more of the content you love and ensures you never miss an update. And remember, sometimes the scariest things are closer than you think. The rustle of leaves in the dark, the creak of a branch swaying in the wind, the shadow of a treehouse cast against your bedroom window. These seemingly innocuous things can take on a whole new meaning when you know the truth that lurks beneath the surface. The eerie lighting can play tricks on your mind, so the next time you find yourself near a treehouse, remember these stories and think twice before dismissing the strange noises you hear. Be careful what secrets you might awaken in the darkness. Sweet dreams, and may your nights be filled with peace, not fear.